This podcast is sponsored by Intentional Living magazine, your ultimate guide created to help infuse purpose and passion into your everyday life. From expert features that provide valuable insights to thought-provoking content that sparks transformation, this magazine, an online platform, is a perfect source of inspiration for all of those of us who truly believe in the power of intentional choices.
So we are sharing this series of podcasts over the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks for the incredible women that we have working with us at the moment that are here to pioneer change in this world. We are launching our new group. So if you are here to make changes in this world and you want to supercharge well-being and bring high performance and provide clarity and abundance through the work that you already do, then this is the first of its kind in human design. It provides you with clear pillars to support you and your clients like nothing else out there. So please listen to this podcast of one of our incredible ladies. And if you've got any questions, then please reach out. Anything else for you, Claire?
No, Space and Freedom by Design accreditation. Listen to what our students and our great friends and clients have to say, and it's their journey, all coming from different backgrounds, different gifts, different talents, and they're absolutely amazing, aren't they?
They blooming are.
So have a listen.
See what you think. Hiya. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
You're not okay today.
I'm very excited.
I'm dead excited today because we've got a studio full of belters.
We have.
And
Can we give us a cheer in the background? Don't know if you'll hear that, but we're all excited.
We're all excited because we've brought with us some powerhouses of different walks of life that had joined us last November, when we called out for our beta accreditation for our Space and Freedom by Design, which is one of the fundamentals, or as I like to say, the lining paper of the cake tin of our Life Freedom Method. And our Life Freedom Method is the method that we took to pilot clinical trial with Liverpool University and the Walton Centre to help people go from being disabled to enabled. And now we use it for that, but also to help people take their pain and turn it into passion. Yeah. And that makes it usable in all walks of life.
Yeah.
And so the human design element of it, we believe, is the lining paper of the cake tin of that. So that we can get this accredited, we wanted a beta group to test it, and we got the most beautiful, beautiful people to join us on it because they were here ready to expand, ready to pioneer change in their world. And we thought, now that we are how many months into the process, that we'd invite them in to ask them about it, what they think about it, what they're doing with their businesses, what they're doing with their life, how it's changed. And we're going to start with the very beautiful
Michelle
Farrell. Michelle Farrell from Inner Freedom Project. Hi.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Don't be nervous.
Thanks for having me.
Michelle,
thanks for coming, Michelle.
you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Michelle, tell us, or tell the listeners, or the people watching, how you came into our world.
Oh, it was a magical day.
A snowy magical day.
Yeah. So I met Claire it was a while ago now, almost 2 years ago, isn't it?
It was last
Was it?
March last
yeah.
year.
Sorry, yeah, a year and a half ago. Feels like I've known you for a long time.
I know.
I did a belief coding session with Claire. She was doing a training, and then in return, Claire was telling me all about human design, and it was just like light bulb moment, wasn't it? And then I just became obsessed. It was fascinating. Yeah, it was.
And you really resonated straight away, didn't you, with your type?
Yes, it was the waiting for the invitation bit that was like, there's loads of other bits as well, but that was like, ooh, that makes sense. Yeah. And I got quite emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I did,
We had a quite emotional 24 hours, didn't we, together?
Yeah. There was a lot of
energy.
We did a lot of energy work.
Do you cry a lot as well?
I'm quite empathetic. I'm quite emotional. Yeah.
So is Claire. No, so let's just go back a step, because you just said the weight in the invitation. That's because you're a projector.
Yes, I'm a projector.
And you're one of our projectors, and we've got 2 projectors in our cohort, and you are our high-flying birds, our people that see light years ahead, that don't see life the same as most of us see it. And because of that, that can sometimes, unless you know about it, can feel quite uncomfortable, can't it?
Yeah. I think what it is that like quite often I'd be telling people things before obviously I found out this, and it was like I could see them disengaging. It's like I could see them, they weren't listening to me anymore. And I was just, but now I'll just stop. I won't finish what I'm saying because they're not listening anyways. Before I would just keep going on and on and on, knowing they're not, paying attention to me. Or I'd always felt like, I don't know, there was just something where I never felt like I belonged, or, I don't know how to really describe it. I guess if you're a projector, you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. But it was like, I feel like I wouldn't have done anything to anybody, but all of a sudden, if I met somebody and then I was given my opinion, you could see that if they didn't want to receive my opinion, it was like the energy shifted a bit. And I'd be like, oh, I don't know what I did. What did I say? Type thing. So now I click now and I wait to see, do they want my opinion? I'm working on it. I'm not always like that, but I'm more, I guess, mindful and aligned now. I'll wait if they want my opinion. And when I do step back, they do come and ask me things, and they do ask me for information, or what are you doing about this or that? Yeah. And then I can see they're listening to me then. Because I see, I can really physically see they're just not listening. It's bizarre. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, frustrating as well, right? It's almost like...
Yeah, I think it was that bitterness. It was like understanding that bitterness, because, you have that sort of like inward, what's wrong with me? Am I not a good person? that sort of self-abuse type thing. Yeah. And so obviously I don't do that anymore. But, I'd had sort of up and down through that, thinking, why, when you were a kid to teenagers to high school. Yeah, it was just, So it was just a moment of like, oh, okay, it's just my, I guess my aura is very focusing, and some people need a minute.
And some people, because I think it's a 22% of projectors in the world right now. And so there's less of you than some other types as well. And you do see things differently. So and some people are not ready to hear what you've got to say, isn't it? And it's that self-awareness of, okay, I won't offer anything right now.
And I think it's the feeling of being included. So my children are both projectors. My husband's a generator. So let's tell you about that in a minute. But I went to my friend's house, and my older son was with me, and she'd made him pizza, and she said, do you want to have it in the kitchen or in the living room? And in the living room, there's a bunch of kids that he didn't, some of them he knew, but there was a couple he didn't know. And he was like, I'll have it in the kitchen. And you could see the minute they said, Gethin, are you coming in? It was like, I could see his eyes lit, and he went straight there, and I didn't see him the rest of the day. It was like, okay, I can go in there now. I can see it all the time when he's in football. He'll be sort of on the side, and then as soon as one of the kids puts their arm around him, or, if they're having penalty shootout or something, then he's in. Yeah, I can see it now with them. Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we like parenting our kids, knowing human design is so helpful, because if you've struggled and struggled to understand, obviously now that you understand, and they are both projectors as well, that you can then help them.
Yeah.
And just for those people listening, a projector has to be invited in to give their opinion or whatever it is they're offering. And if they are feeling out of alignment, they will feel bitterness. And if they're feeling completely aligned, they'll feel success.
Yeah.
And so that's what Michelle was talking about there in terms of the bitterness piece.
And it's like with family life now, because I've explained my husband's a generator, and I've told him a little bit about his body graph. He'll get up on like Saturday morning. He's like an energizer bunny. He's gone for a run. He's whizzed around the house, and the three of us are still in our pajamas, just having a chill, because we like a lazy morning. Yeah. We like a really
restful, relaxing morning. It's like, are you guys ever going to get bloody dressed? And I'm like, chill, we're projectors. It's what we're supposed to do. So it is funny, but it's just him recognizing the energy differences in himself and us. That's been quite helpful for him understanding.
And has it changed the dynamic?
Yes. Yeah, it has. And I've got like my decision making, my authority is mental. So I sort of have to say things out loud to listen to myself back.
Yeah.
Now, I might be asking for his opinion or somebody's opinion, and I might listen, but sometimes it's just to hear myself speak. I've always been like that, but I didn't understand why. So when I told him that, he's like, is that why you're always asking me things and then totally ignoring my... I'm like, yeah. So I would always ask him or talk to him about stuff, completely ignore what he says because I've already listened to what I've said, thought, well, I'll do that or I won't do that. So it's just things like that. Yeah, it's been interesting. So
it's massive.
Yeah.
So the Inner Freedom Method, Inner Freedom Project. Talk to us about that.
So the Inner Freedom Project is a relatively new business that I've launched with my really good friend Andre and business partner. It's just about empowering women. So we want to help women who help women.
Yeah.
So it's like if we lift them, it's that ripple effect, isn't it? Everybody has, we call it shizzle.
Yeah, I love it. I love a bit of shizzle.
And you need to get rid of your shizzle. So yeah, that's what it's about. It's about finding energetic ways to shift your shizzle. Shift your shizzle. Bit of a tongue twister. But yeah, it's just about using different methods. So we're doing courses, we're doing day retreats, overnight retreats eventually. That's sort of in the long-term plan. And yeah, just online courses. And yeah, it's really exciting actually. So we have we actually are launching a course next month called Free to Be Me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so for 6 weeks, it's a trial course. We're going to see how it goes. Well, program, we're calling it, because we're not actually teaching anybody anything. It's more of, it's 6 weeks. We're going to do some group coaching with them, take them through. It's for women in business. So taking them through imposter syndrome, all those things that hold you back, procrastination, being seen, public speaking. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the other one is. I think it was comparison or something like that. Fear of judgment, that's what it was. So that they can show up for their business and be the best they can be. And then that will ripple effect into their own clients. So that's launching. And then in that, we're going to do a bit of breath work. I'm going to do a basic human design at this point for them.
Amazing.
Just to introduce them to it and give them sort of a really basic overview, not a full body graph. But yeah.
But that basic overview will give them so many answers, Michelle,
yeah. And then if they want to then in the future proceed with finding out more than they can. But yeah, so that's sort of the plan at the minute. It's manifestation coaching and yeah, so that's amazing, starting June 6th for 6 weeks. So we're going to see how it goes.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Questions?
Yeah, I think you've asked all of the ones I was going to ask anyway. But I've always got more questions. So in terms of you working with us, and obviously I met you last March and we definitely had a connection, didn't we? It was a lovely,
it's a soul vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Jules as well, yeah.
And then we met. Did you meet Jules in Happy Place?
I think I met Jules I knew who Jules was.
Yeah.
But I don't think I
in...
met you officially till Happy Place, and it was the one in London.
Yeah.
Chiswick Park.
The Chiswick Park one.
Yeah.
And then
it was like,
I remember
knew you all my life.
Yeah. I know, because of the online space, everyone knows a lot of people, and you forget whether do I know these from online or I've actually met them in person.
We actually squeezed in real life.
We need, and it's because it's so much better in person, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from that, I remember that day in Chiswick Park, and you came over and give you a big hug, and you met Jules, and we had a lovely 2 days at Happy Place, and you kept asking us loads of questions.
Yeah,
like,
I was excited.
Can you just tell me more about human design? I was like, I absolutely love Michelle's enthusiasm around human design.
I find it fascinating. I do find it fascinating. And I knew at that point, Andre and I were going to do something together. We hadn't developed anything yet. So, she's all into it as well. And it's nice because we have a very complementary design type. So she's a manifesting generator And I'm obviously projector. So she's, the butterfly. She's got all the energy. She's, flying high. And I kind of have to be like, okay, that's amazing. That all sounds wonderful. But actually, what are we going to do? And what's the plan? And how are we going to go about it? And she's really great at knowing my energy levels. So if we do like a retreat day or we do something, I'm like an energy hangover. I can't do anything for like 2 days afterwards.
And it's so
and she's really good at
recognise
understanding that. She'll message me being like, "You're all right, like you're still alive," because I'll just go sort of radio silent for 24 hours because I'm just so exhausted.
And that's so good that you that you recognise that and
Yeah.
that you give yourself that time that's needed.
Yeah.
What was my question?
I have energy hangovers as well, but this one's like a Duracell bunny.
Yeah.
But I have been getting better with resting and switch and trying to switch off a little bit more. But we met in a happy place, and you met Jules, and you were so excited about it, and that's what I loved about you. And then I think you'd put the seed into our heads about doing the accreditation, because you were like, are you teaching this? What's happening with this? How are you going to do it? And then obviously there was other people, but you were probably one of the first to me. And it was like, right, we need to do this because we obviously love training and coaching and teaching and mentoring. So it was like, right, let's get this done and let's deliver this properly, because there's a lot of people out there teaching human design, but without the accreditation. But we're doing the embodiment piece as well. So I just was going to ask you about the embodiment piece around Jules is teaching the knowledge of the modules and all of the mechanics of human design, which is so fascinating. And because she knows everything.
Because I'm a one energy.
Because she's dead clever. And I say this every podcast. And then I'm doing the embodiment practices around the centers and the energy, because obviously with the yoga teacher training that I've had, and then I can see how it fits in. How have you got on with the embodiment?
So I love the embodiment. I find it a little bit hard I know it's only 20 minutes, 30 minutes of your day. It's just, I have to try to schedule it in because I don't feel I'm in the habit of doing it. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, I haven't done it today or I haven't done it in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it. So I do enjoy doing it, and I do see why we're doing it. And I do think it makes a difference, but I know I've got to make it a bit more of a priority and do it on a more regular basis. But it'll come with me doing it, the habit, building the habit really. But I do breath work, so that's kind of embodiment.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is that I can teach you all of the things about human design, but it's like having a gym membership and expecting a six-pack but staying at home on the sofa. If you don't actually truly embody it, what it is to be your design, then it makes no difference whatsoever to your life. However, if you do make the changes, like you've already said, you have made certain changes. Yeah. The embodiment stuff that Claire leads on is so profound. Yeah. And we look at we look at the thoughts, the energy and the action, and it's almost like you can think about it, you can do the work, you can calibrate your energy, but then if you don't do the action, it's never going to happen. And so that's sort of bringing it all together.
Think, feel, do, isn't it?
Think, feel, do.
Think, but you also want to be as well. So it's like think, feel, be, and then do. So but again, I've said this to you all before as well, because I know we're all busy businesswomen. Most of us are busy with children, or we've got people that we look after, but not to feel bad about not doing the practices, because that goes against everything what we want to teach. We don't want to feel guilty or bad for not doing something. So what's your favourite embodiment practice then?
I like
so
the
far?
root.
I like the root.
Because I was having loads of issues with like just stiffness in my neck. I got a new pillow and it did not agree with me. I was trying to like work it in. But when I started to do the root on a regular basis, it all went. It just released. I could hear the cracking. It was kind of, it was nice. It just all went. That's probably and I imagine myself in the clay. I think the root's and I think as well, because I don't have a defined root, and I can often tell if it is disempowered, because I'll feel scatterbrain, and I get sort of how you feel, that insecurity and things. So that is a center I need to constantly be mindful and work on. Yeah. So I do think it's really valuable. It's
grounding
I just
is
need
so
to.
important,
I think I just need to get myself into a routine of doing it. So I've started putting it in my calendar. So I'll remember.
It's just like brushing your teeth. It's one of those things.
It's just building a healthy habit, isn't it?
Yeah. And just knowing that you've got all, because I mean, there is a lot to learn and there's a lot of different embodiment practices with all of the 9 centers, but it's about feeling into them all. And then once you know them all or you've embodied them, you'll pick and choose the ones that you need at the time that you need them as well. So it's been an absolute pleasure teaching you all, and I love it. And
we've got like having you teach us.
We've got like a WhatsApp group, haven't we? That's like we put all our stuff in there, and we meet every 2 weeks online, and we're all in the studio today with -2, which is a pity. But it's a nice group of people as well. We can have a laugh. We can talk about what we're learning, what's happening, as well as some of the deep stuff. So I'll probably just ask one more question. What's been the biggest change in your life since working with us in your human design?
Probably, I mean, understanding obviously my own design, and then my relationship probably with my husband, and knowing a bit more about my children. I haven't fully gone into their charts in terms of gates and all that yet. But I think it's the relationships. Amazing. Probably. Because the other day we were talking about something and I was speaking out loud and he was like, why do you keep going on about it? I was like, I don't actually I wasn't really asking for his opinion. I was just kind of speaking out loud. And it was like, and I had to explain, I say, remember, this is how I make my decisions. And he was like, okay, yeah. So I think that's what it is. I think, understanding myself first and foremost, and there's nothing wrong with me, type thing. And I think it's like when I first found out I was a projector, I think I had a bit of like, I want to be a generator, that type of thing. Why I have to have no energy, type thing. Why I have to be? But actually, it's actually about how we discuss that every design is special. And when I speak to people about human design, I'm always like, if you are going to go off and find out more information online, that you always look at it from an empowered point of view.
Yes.
Because, I met my first reflector the other day, and I'm getting to the point now where I can hear people speaking, and after a little bit, I can kind of gauge which design they are. Yeah. And I said, she was speaking, I was at a networking event. And I was like, I'm sure she's a reflector. And she was. And I was like, oh my God, like she was a superstar. Yeah. I was like, I've never met a reflector.
There's only 1% of reflectors in the world.
And it was I just explained a very basic, my voice is going all croaky. A very basic explanation of her design, but from an empowered point of view. Yeah.
And how was that received?
Yeah, she loved it. She thought it made a lot of sense. So she's
so
intrigued
helpful.
to hear more. Yeah.
Yeah, really helpful.
It resonated so many people, doesn't it? So thank you for sharing that. But what we'll do in the show notes as well is we'll put your details of your business in our show notes for this, so that you can share the podcast, obviously, and then you share your journey. And is there anything else that you want to
just so that people know how to get hold of you and Andre.
Okay.
And so that you can reach out and share. And obviously, we're speaking to you today. We've got the rest of the girls in the studio that they're coming out in different episodes. But again, it's through the lens of yours. So yours is about empowering business women to lose their shizzle so that they can do all of the things that they want to do. Yeah,
it's not all business women. That's the course we're launching, but just empowering women who help others. Yeah.
Oh, nice that. Empowering women who help others.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Michelle Farrell, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I don't want to go now.
It's fab, isn't it?
It's fun, this.
So thank you for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure working with you. And you look gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to come back.
Gorgeous inside and out.
Oh, thank you. I'll be back.
Well, we'd love to have you back, because it'd be good, say, a year on, checking in on everyone's journeys, because everyone's life is changing for the better.
Yeah, it's exciting. But it's that nervous excitement of what's to come. But you need to do it.
You're doing it.
Exciting.
It's transformation.
Yes.
Expansion.
Yeah. Exactly that, love. So,
thank you.
Oh,
thank you. And I hope you enjoyed that. So,
loved it.
Love and light from me.
And ta-ra from me.